So the garden is off to a bad start. The chard, we used recycled seed and it didn't come up. But we have chard because next door, where did it go? Next door we had one go to seed last year and the seeds were in the ground, so we've got little baby chards. So I transplanted them, so all the chard we had was transplanted. The Detroit dark red beets did not come up. We don't know why. We replanted today. Sometimes you have these failures and we don't know why. But we try again. Here's the carrots. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Trying to pull them out of the weeds. That's the key to good carrot propagation, is make sure that they are weeded. See, they're in there, but we have to do like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and try not to smash plants. There's one right there hiding. And so today we're doing green beans. We've got the rows all dug. I was going to go all the way back here, but right here is potato plants that have volunteered. Each potato plant has a potential for 4 pounds of potatoes. It's a hard decision when you're gardening to dig up the Lord's potatoes, try to move them, leave them, because some of the times, like if they're in the carrots, they're going to produce more in the area that they're in than the carrot would have produced. So you have to make those decisions. So we're planting Blue Lake bush beans. These are heirloom and they are recycled from a previous year. We have some fresher seed, but it's not heirloom. So what I do with my bean seeds is I soak them about 15 minutes. And you get the head start. And I've also been watering this down for twice a day for 3 days. That prepares the soil for the seed. So when you're planting the beans, we plant them pretty close. There's an old adage of planting like 4 for every one that you want to produce. You plant them at about, I don't know, a ½ inch or an inch depth. So something like one to rot, one for the crow, and then one to grow. But there was another one in there somewhere. Anyway, make sure that there's no crows watching, because they will come down and dig them up. And again, water these twice a day until they come up, and keep an eye on them popping out of the ground and put them back in. So those are going to be the bean seeds, and we'll see. Hopefully they'll do better than what the rest of it's doing right now. We've covered our potatoes, the first cover, with the manure, and you don't really need to worry about the weeds between the rows with potatoes, because what you do is just take your rake and rake that up over the plant and use it as a mulch, and that'll start decomposing. And then you can cover it with soil, you can cover it with manure like I've done here. Either way, cover it to the 3 inches to the top of the plant, and then leave it a little bit peeking out where and when you can. 3 weeks later, if it has not bloomed, which it will have, cover it again. But once it blooms and has buds on, it's produced all the potatoes it's going to produce, and you don't cover it again. And then over here, lastly, for our garden report, is pumpkins. We've planted sugar pie pumpkins. They're a small pumpkin that we use for a pie pumpkin. Water it twice a day. Watch the crows so they don't get it. Slugs, of course, like to nip these off at the very bottom. But we wait until later to do the squash and the beans. This is almost June. There's a dog is slipping under the thing. Great. You want the soil to be warm for these guys. So these are 60 days to harvest on the beans. And on a good year in this garden space, we can can 150 quarts. We'll see how it goes this year. Y'all stay tuned.